Hey guys, welcome back to The Hustle with your host, myself, Ben Anderson. So I've been selling since I can remember what the word selling even means. My very first job was called Owens Brothers Odd Jobs. I would go door to door as a 5-year-old kid and I'd wash cars for like a quarter. I'd buy baseball cards and I'd trade baseball cards to my friends and I'd sell their better cards for my bad cards. So I've been selling since I could remember. I've been selling for probably hardcore 35 or so years now, almost every day of my life. Even I think back to when I was in high school and I was the poorest kid at a private high school. I'd go to these rich kids in line, I'd ask for their change at the snack bar so I could buy myself like a cookie or a Snickers or whatever I was gonna buy because they were rich and I was poor. And I would sell these rich kids on why I needed their change to be able to eat because I was an athlete and I had a game later and I had to score points to make the team better, make our school better. So I've been selling since I was wee old. And as I coach more and more people, I realize people don't know how to sell. They don't understand the art behind sales. And all they want to do is think that the product that they are selling is going to sell itself. Well, that's called e-commerce. And if the product sells itself, what do they need you for? So in this podcast, I'm going to give you guys a dose of the art of selling, teach you how to sell and how to get multiple deals from one client. Why in high school did I go back every single day and week to the same rich kids to get more money every single day? Because I realized that you can get multiple deals from one person and it becomes easier the more you go back to them because they get to know you. So in this lesson, in this session, in this podcast, in this YouTube, in this sit down, I'm going to teach you how to become a better salesperson. Now let's start by realizing where most sales people fail, or they give up. The average salesperson gives up after one attempt. How sad is that? They don't have the ability to continue trying. They are afraid of failure, and all it takes is one person saying, I don't think so, or no, for them to go back in their hole. Where when I grew up, no wasn't an answer. I had to sell in order to feed myself. So no was not in my DNA. Giving up was not even an option. I've been doing this, guys, for so long, and it becomes so natural to me that I have to really teach you guys over and over again. There's an art behind selling, but also an art behind not giving up. Let me give you a story again. When I was at my first mortgage company back in 2007, 2008, when the market melted down and crashed and everybody gave up, I stayed. And the story about this, me staying again, is my milk crate story. I was at a mortgage company with over 1,000 loan officers in probably a 3 or 4 or 5,000 square foot, not probably bigger than that. I'm thinking probably 10 or 20,000 square feet, giant office space, cubicles everywhere, and it was vibrant and people were making lots of money at a young age. And the market crashed. And every single day, I would see 10, 20, 30 people just give up and quit and say, I can't do mortgage anymore. And as I stayed put, I realized that as people left, they left opportunity behind them. And as we were closing the company down, I went to the owner of our bank, Lauren Lahodney, back in 2008, I want to say. I said, hey, Lauren, I know this market's changing. I've never been through this before, but I do know one thing. I see every day my friends, my coworkers leaving, and they're leaving their client files behind. And back before the internet, for real, we dealt with manila folders and clients' files and paper documents. And I said, there are hundreds and hundreds of client files that are sitting here in desks, and no one's even talking to them. I'm like, can I just stay and can we broker these files out and we can find some lender to sell these people a mortgage and I can just broker loans, we can make money? He goes, by all means, let's stay. At the very end, all of these cubicles had been cleared out and it was all pretty much an empty warehouse and all was left was all these files. Even so much so as the lights were off because we couldn't afford to pay our bills. So what I did is I took all these files and I stacked them by the window, probably 100 feet, 150, maybe longer long, and I had 10 files high, 20 files high, and rows of files. All I had was my cell phone, a milk crate that I found in the kitchen, and my never give up attitude, and I called every single person. I said, "Hi, my name is Ben Anderson. Your client left your loan officer left the company. You're a good client. I see your appraisal. I see your taxes. There's a deal here somewhere. How can I help you?" And still to this day, I made more money at age 23 in that month or two of just placing clients in home than I ever made in my entire life, because I decided to not give up and stay, and I decided to follow up. So the art of sales, before I give you some really good practices and tools, is all about the art and mastering the art of not giving up. So I have this belief, and the belief is that customers are always going to need the product that you sell. I don't care if you're selling cars. People always need a new car every 5, 3, 10 years. I don't care if you're selling insurance. They're always buying more homes and need more autos and life insurance. I don't care if you're selling investments. I don't care if it's selling homes or mortgages. People are always going to buy whatever you're selling again and again and again. If it's shoes, they wear out. If it's clothes, they get old. So whatever you're selling in life, the best client is the client that's going to continue buying from you. And I have the belief, I call it my 7 Ds belief, and 7 reasons why people are always going to be buying from you. It's death, diapers, diamonds, divorce, downsize, deconstruct, which is making things better or changing their house, and debt. They get into debt. So whatever service you have, people are constantly on the consumption and buy move. But let's talk about you as a salesperson. Why do you give up? Why does the average salesperson give up after one attempt? If you simply just Google salesperson giving up, just Google that. What you'll find that Google says, which is technically like the Bible of everything, it says, unfortunately, due to fear of rejection, a difficult no, a sales process, or a lack of sales automation, most salespeople never follow up with prospects. When emails or phone calls are ignored, 44% of all salespeople give up after just one attempt. That's half of every salesperson gives up. Let's talk about rejection. So let me get this right. You're going to call somebody and sell them on a product. Do you want to buy a car? Do you want to buy shampoo? Do you want to buy a mortgage? Do you want to buy life insurance? And they say, no, I'm not interested. You're afraid of that? There are bombs going off in the world, and you're afraid of somebody telling you no? No is the best thing they can tell you, because when you turn that no into a yes, you've actually earned that client with merit. The sales mindset is not, oh, when someone tells me no, I'm just going to take no for an answer. If that was my mindset, I'd never be giving you this content today. So thank God that people tell you no, because it gives you a chance to be a different salesperson than everybody else that's out there. Now, my basic belief, again, based on 20 years of sales experience. And I'm not the person that says, 20 years of sales experience, meaning I did sales for 2 years, then I was a manager for 12 years, and that's 20 years of sales experience, and in the last 8 years I've been just coaching on it. No. I make sales calls every single day, even today, because how can I give you guidance and advice that I'm not eating for myself? How do I know it tastes good if I'm not going to try the own food I'm going to serve you? So my basic belief is the average person will do 10 transactions in their life. Whether you are the person they work with or not is up to you. The good salespeople get the majority of those deals. And a good salesperson, all they have to do is stay on top of them and stay in touch. Now, what deals am I talking about? Let's give this the mortgage and real estate, let's say, comp for a second. What 10 deals would someone do if they're buying a home? That's not real. That's not true. That's too many. Yeah. 10 deals maybe if they're coming back to buy groceries. 10 deals if they're looking to get insurance because they're buying houses and they're doing cars. But there's no way someone does 10 deals in real estate and mortgage. Okay, well, let's check it out for a second. Number one, they're going to buy their first home. Deal number one. Number two, they're probably going to put a low down payment because they're a first-time home buyer. they're going to get into a better mortgage and take off the mortgage insurance off their home. Those that don't know what that means, if you buy a home with a low down payment, that's not going to be the most affordable loan because it's not a lot of down payment. So you can then, once your value goes up or you pay your debt down, you want to get a second loan to get your payments better, take off the mortgage insurance. The third loan they're probably going to do is refinance, because when you own a home, things are expensive, you run up your credit cards, you want to refinance and get that credit card debt paid off. Number 4, when rates drop, because every couple years they go up and they go down, they'll be opportunistic and want to refi to get the lowest interest rate. And deal number 5, they eventually want to sell their home and buy a new home because they've grown their family and they've outgrown the home they're in. Number 6, they want to do a cash out transaction to take care of a life need, whether it's college for their kids now they're older, a wedding, home remodel, starting a business. Next, buying an investment property. Number 7, shorten their term of their loan or pay it off faster. Number 8. Number 9 deal, they want to help their kids buy a home because now their kids are in their first time home buyer seat. And number 10, they either want to do a reverse mortgage, which is like a retirement loan, or look at a loan that pays off their debt and have no mortgage. So this is just one example of how, if you don't say no, you could possibly have a client that gives you 10 deals. Next up, loan officers who become lifetime advisors, or better yet, salespeople that become lifetime advisors become very rich. So where do you guys start with this whole process? It's the orange grove mindset. There's 2 people. There's the person that goes to the grocery store and buys the orange for $1, and there's the farmer that gets really rich because they're planting the most amount of seeds. So my orange grove mindset is, if you want to be rich on oranges, you want the seeds. You want to plant the most seeds every stinking day and water those seeds with patience. If the farmer waters the orange seed and one day later does not see a crop and says, I can't do this, this is too hard, that person's not going to get rich. You have to be willing to have hundreds or thousands of conversations with somebody to water that seed. Eventually it's going to grow. And the good part about getting that seed to grow is when it does, it's going to produce a tree of fruit. And now you can have oranges that produce fruit for you for life. So if you want to become, the art of sales is the art of following up, staying in touch, nurturing and watering every single relationship, not if it produces fruit, but until it does produce fruit. Because he or she with the most seeds and the most water and the most patience will have the largest crop of oranges. So what's the takeaway, you guys? What do I want you guys to do if you're listening here to me today? How do you make this truly work? The question is not, how do you make it work? The question is, how many calls can you make in a day? How many notes can you take on every call? And how long can you follow up with the client? So put it into practice. Here's exactly what I want you to do. Set a time block that says, I'm going to time block an hour a day. Start with an hour a day. And then eventually 2 hours a day, and then 3 hours a day, and then 4 hours a day. And in the hour a day, I'm going to make 10 calls. And then in the 2 hours a day, I'm going to make 20 calls. And stretch how many calls you can make in a day. During your call time, don't check your email. Don't be distracted by day-to-day activities. Simply be locked in on your calls. Track how many calls you make, track all the notes on every call, and track how many deals come from these calls. Because in closing, you guys, the art of being a salesperson is practice. The art of being anything good is practice. If you take no for an answer, you're not practicing. Practice getting over the hurdle. I'm not going to tell you how to turn a no into a yes. You have to figure out your own way on how to turn a no into a yes. But you got to practice at it. Don't get off the phone. Ask more questions. Stop being afraid of being rejected. Because in closing, you guys, it's very simple. The art of sales is deals lead to deals. The more deals you have, the more deals you get. You know why the top real estate agent in a farm gets the most listings? Because they close the most listings. If a seller interviews 2 agents and they say, Mr. Agent, why should you list my home? well, I'm going to get you the right price, I'm going to decorate it, I'm going to do good marketing, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It comes to the market anyways and how it's priced. I'm going to sell your home for this much money. That's great. Appointment number 2, realtor number 2. Why are you the agent to list my home? Well, I sell more homes in this city than anybody else. Sold. I'm going to work with you because you know exactly what it takes to close deals. So the more calls you make, the more deals you get, and the more deals you get, the more deals you get. So the art of sales is not taking no for an answer and realizing that clients are clients for life. That's all I got today. Keep watching my content and let's go crush it.